Hi everyone. If you're watching this video, that means you'll be a camp lead or deputy during our half-term camp. So I'm just going to run through the Holiday Club Operations Manual that the camp lead will be responsible for, and it will just outline all of the information and how to run a camp as well. So again, the camp lead is responsible for the camp and needs to follow everything that is documented within this holiday camp manual. So we'll just quickly run through. So obviously we need to be focused on the core values when we're with staff and we're also with the children. Staff expectations. So staff have also got, other APs have also got a handbook that they're going to be working through. So that just tells each AP what they need to do throughout the whole day, their responsibilities, what they should be doing in the games and stuff. Checklists, loads of different pieces of information are on there as well, just some basic stuff. So they've got a handbook as well that they need to look through at the start of the day, to have a little flick through to make sure that they know everything and to make sure that they're on the ball. So just go back to the manual. So all staff required to follow all policies and procedures. There's a blue folder that Kelly's created, and it's got all the policies and procedures. So if a parent asks or Ofsted come at Sacred Heart, then you've got that there, and it tells you all the information about safeguarding, etc. Ratios for camp, obviously one coach per 16 children. So I'm just going to skip a couple of bits that you'd probably know already, but obviously take time to have a little look through this before camp and each day of camp. So, okay, expectations we've been through. So camp box, obviously this has been created and that all the information has been inputted. So if there is anything missing, then obviously let us know. There is a checklist down the bottom of what should be included in the camp box as well. But it's your responsibility to let us know if anything is missing, whether it's a sign or an iPad or whatever. Please let us know so we can correct that and make sure the camp runs smoothly. When signing out of the camp, you'll also be required to fill out the replenish document, which just shows you what should be in there at the end. And then when returning the camp box, it's the camp lead's responsibility to make sure it's nice and tidy before it's put away. So make sure it's not a mess. All documents and signs are put into correct folders and stuff like that, just to make it nice and easy for the next camp. Electronic devices, again, people shouldn't be on their phones in regards to safeguarding. Obviously, camp lead will be on the phone just in case anything happens. There is an iPad there as well that we're going to be using for registers and stuff like that. But coaches shouldn't be on their phone for that. Role allocation. So this is the big one. So each staff member, whether there's 3, 4, 5 or 6 staff members at a camp, everyone should have a role. So you've got your camp leader, your deputy, and you've got your APs that actually deliver the activities as well. So the camp leader will delegate these out. So some of these roles might be registration. So camp leader will pick someone who they think is really, really competent with registration, is good to chat to people, is a nice welcoming presence. Might be cleaning duties. So there might be some staff that will just take every 20 minutes or so within a couple of hours just to nip around the venue and just tidy up a few bits, whether that be equipment or in the lunch area. Camp manager might do the health and safety checks, obviously making sure all fire exits are clear, risk assessment is done. You might delegate someone to check toilets every hour just to make sure that they've got toilet roll and that they're not being left in a mess. Then you might be able to speak to the children. Check marketing material. So start of the day it might be a little bit windy, so you might pop up some signs and stuff, but some of them might blow down. So that could be someone's role to make sure that all the signs in the venue and outside the venue are all up and still look good for when parents come back as well. Calls for children who haven't booked, so again, the company can delegate this. So if you've got someone on the register who hasn't showed up, then you can just drop them a call just to see how they are and whether they're actually coming, just so you can make a note of that. But it's really important that you give people roles. So everyone needs a role, whether that's lunchtime, so whether you put 2 people in charge of the quizzes at lunchtime, or making sure children are entertained during lunchtime as well. Apologies for the format on this, I just need to change. So next one is display boards. So these are quite new, they've been at camp since October now. So it's the camp manager's responsibility for these to make sure that they're up, they're being utilised, and to obviously ensure that they're not being damaged as well. So these are really important, because they give a good feel to the camp, they jazz it up a little bit, they make it look more welcoming, they make it look more professional. So these must be used in the correct way and obviously looked after as well. So you've got a few different boards. So you've got meet the team. So this is where all the coaches will have their faces on the display board, and it just notes their DBS numbers and some other information. What's coming up? So that board will have like next camp information. So you might put some Easter promotions in there, so like discount code about next camp, or some activities that are coming up in the next camp for that. For the parents board, that'll be types of activities that are running during this camp, so that'll probably be the timetable of the week and the sorts of activities that are on offer, or any other information that you might need to present, whether that's coaches, camp lead's phone number, or whatever, some information on that. And then achievement board, this is where like obviously children's drawings go, any good practice that you might want to share, pop that on there so it looks nice. And then obviously our rules, we've got the fun agreement, nothing really needs to go on there because it's got all the information already. Please do be careful when you're putting the information on. Obviously we don't want to tear the boards or leave any marks, because they do cost a lot of money. So never use sellotape or anything that could mark the boards or damage them permanently. Holiday camp setup and closeout. So before the camp begins, the camp leader needs to check all the areas, review the signage, make sure all signs are up, speak to the staff before they start the day, so giving the roles, whether that's sign in, sign out, warm-up games, meeting in the car park, etc., or lunchtime activities and stuff like that, or toilets. So the activities will be discussed with the camp lead. I know for the gymnastics and the football that they've got a little program that they've got for the games that you're going to play. So if you're in the football camp or the gymnastic camp, you just need to follow those games for the specific day. It's good to just obviously touch base with the caretaker or cleaner or receptionist if anyone's there. Just get their number just in case you need anything throughout the day. Cool, so first day setup is obviously the most important. It's where all the work goes in, so get there nice and early for the time on your diary. And we're just going to get every single sign and poster and banner up as quickly as possible, but also in the right places. So remember, some parents might be new to the camp, so they might not know where to go. So can we drop cones down to lead them into the front door? Can we make sure there's lots and lots of arrows pointing? I don't just want one welcome sign and an arrow pointing one way. I want lots of arrows and lots of signs directing them through, so they know that a camp is running. So this is the setup checklist that the camp lead will go through. So they'll just, once they're pretty much ready, the camp lead will just pop round and just double check, tick in whether they've got all of the relevant things that are set up for the camp. So banner, signs, toilet cards. Staff will also need to sign in and out now. So they should be on the front desk, a bit like Sainsbury's camp. Is there music? Other decorations up? So at Sacred Heart for February half term, we've got the Tag Rugby Six Nations theme. So there's some flags up there that need to be pinned about. Welcome board and all those boards up. and then just go through and just double check everything has been completed, and everything is up and looks professional, and obviously make sure, importantly, the risk assessment is completed as well. Okay, so before the day begins, all staff to sign in, as I just said on the staff sign-in sheet. Familiarise yourself with the areas, so make sure you've got a first aid area. Make sure registration desk is set up in the right place with password cards, folders, welcome letters, and so on. Make sure all the staff understand what activities are being delivered and when and who's delivering them, so everything runs smoothly. So the first activity should be set up ready. Obviously, only check the registers for any medical conditions or anything like that, just so we're on the ball. And I'd suggest if they have inhalers and other medical information that they need to stay with the first aid area. So all areas need to be set up before parents arrive. So they need to have 1 or 2 warm-up games, depending on how many children, 1 person signing in and 1 person in the car park directing parents and handing out welcome letters. And then, there should be music playing to get a real nice atmosphere of the camp. Welcome speech. So the camp leader doesn't have to do this, but they can delegate it to someone. So they need to go through the core values, which are displayed on the board. The camp rules, so obviously not leaving a room without asking, toilet procedure, introducing coaches' names, running through the daily structure, and getting them into teams, giving them a sticker and the colour. So there'll be 4 teams throughout the day, so you must give your each child a sticker with their name on with the team, a bit like Sainsbury's camp. Obviously talk about stranger danger and the fire evacuation. And I'm just going to go through. So as I said, so you'll have 1 coach, club lead maybe on the registration. You'll have the second coach meeting and greeting, so whether that's just outside the door in the car park, handing out letters with a nice smiley face. And then the other AP, 1 or 2 APs might be delivering the warm-up games, icebreaker games. There's no free play to make sure all children are engaged. So snack times, again, that will be determined by the coach on what time that is to fit in with the schedule, and make sure all APs are not on their phone during this time, just sitting around. So that shouldn't last more than 15-20 minutes. And same with lunchtime, you should have 30 minutes to eat their lunch, and then they should have an extra half an hour or so to be engaged with a quiz. So again, that comes back down to delegating the roles out. Awards for Feb half term, we're just going to be doing certificates per day to ensure everyone gets one, and so on. Deregistration again, so children need to have their stuff ready and be occupied whilst the parents are coming to sign them out. And again, you're going to have camp lead on registration, 1 person in the doorway, maybe shouting the names of the child that's been signed out, and then all the other APs are helping the children or playing a nice controlled game. And then just daily, just make sure we're checking all signage, etc. And so on. So at the end of the day, check everywhere's clean, tidy up registration, report any damages or anything to me or to senior management. Make sure equipment's tidied away, documentation is put away out of sight, so make sure we don't leave iPads or registers open during the day. They need to be stored away in the camp box and safe, just for GDPR and health and safety. and then yeah, just make sure it's generally tidy. And then finally, so each day the camp lead will just run through the checklist and just tick through everything. So all these need to be ticked throughout, and just go through. So this is a daily thing that will last all day. Really simple, really easy to understand. And then the camp leader just signs as well. And there's your camp box content. So yeah, just make sure all staff are engaged and have a role. Make sure they've got a copy of the handbook as well, so they know how to deliver in a camp as well. So give them that responsibility to have a little read through that. And then yeah, let's just make the camps really, really fun. Let's ensure it looks good, and also we're delivering fantastic activities and promoting for the next camp as well. Cheers, guys.